The 15th letter of St. Cyprian, part 2. Starting, looks like the second sentence of paragraph 3. But yet your glory is not less, who are still engaged in contest, and about to follow the glories of your comrades, are long waging the battle, and with an unmoved and unshakable faith standing fast, are daily exhibiting in your virtues a spectacle in the sight of God. The longer is your strife, the loftier will be your crown. The struggle is won, but it is crowded with a manifold multitude of contests. You conquer hunger, you despise thirst, you tread underfoot the squalor of the dungeon, and the horror of the very abode of punishment by the vigor of your courage. Punishment is there subdued, torture is worn out, death is not feared but desired, being overcome by the reward of immortality, so that he who has conquered is crowned with eternity of life. What now must be the mind in you, how elevated, how large the heart, when such and so great things are resolved, when nothing but the precepts of God and the rewards of Christ are considered. The will is then only God's will, and although you are still placed in the flesh, it is the life not of the present world, but of the future that you now live. It now remains, beloved brethren, that you should be mindful of me, that among your great and divine considerations you should also think of me in your mind and spirit, and that I should be in your prayers and supplications. When that voice, which is illustrious by the purification of confession and praiseworthy for the continual tenor of its honor, penetrates to God's ears, and heaven being open to it, passes from these regions of the world subdued to the realms above, and obtains from the Lord's goodness even what it asks. For what do you ask from the Lord's mercy, which you do not deserve to obtain, you who have thus observed the Lord's commands, who have maintained the gospel discipline with the simple vigor of your faith, who, with the glory of your virtue uncorrupted, have stood bravely by the Lord's commands and by his apostles, and have confirmed the unwavering faith of many by the truth of your martyrdom. Truly gospel witnesses and truly Christ's martyrs, resting upon his roots, founded with strong foundation upon the rock, you have joined discipline with virtue. You have brought others to the fear of God. You have made your martyrdoms examples. I bid you, brethren, very brave and beloved, ever heartily farewell, and remember me.